really ask for better. When we advertised this particular event, one never had an idea as to what the response would be like. But I must say that your response is something that blew one's mind. To give you the figures, we had almost 1,000 people who RSVP'd for this program. And as a result, we have to ask people, especially those who are at our other 4 campuses, not to come through. We deliberately stated that only those who are at Westville campus should come, because this venue can only take up to 180 people. So your presence here this morning, it means a lot to us. More so because since the beginning of the year, we haven't had an event here. Some of the entrepreneurs at this campus, they said to me that there are a lot of people at Westville campus who are doing business. And not only are there a lot of people at the Westville campus who are doing business, but people are hungry at Westville campus for programs like this. And your presence here, it definitely proves that indeed Westville campus is an entrepreneurial campus. Without any waste of time, I would like to introduce our first speaker for the day. Perhaps before I do that, let me indicate that the plan was to have 4 organizations coming here. They all confirmed their participation. Sadly, one pulled out yesterday. Another one at 1 minute after 10 this morning, they sent me an email to say, we are not coming. So I was telling this colleague sitting on my left that if one was to understand the meaning of the word or phrase, you saved my day, it refers to what he has done. I do not want to imagine what would have happened had they also pulled out. But significantly, and I'm not saying this because it's here, they are the custodians of small business funding in the country. CIFA is an agency of the Department of Small Business Development, and as you know, the department's mandate is to support entrepreneurs, cooperatives, and small businesses. Well, I'm not an expert in this, he's an expert. Without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Sihle from Small Enterprise Finance Agency, affectionately or commonly known as CIFA. Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Sihle Zulu. I'm from the Small Enterprise Finance Agency. I'm the investment analyst there. I've been with the institution for about 8 years now. So basically, without being too technical, what we do as an institution, we finance small businesses. We say DSBD, Department of Small Business, is our mother because we get our money from there. Under our DSBD, which is the Department of Small Business, we've got CIFA, which is the Small Enterprise Finance Agency, and we have USIDA, which is the Small Enterprise Development Agency. So USIDA, my understanding, they were supposed to be here as well, but basically what they do, it's more of business development. So they would assist with your business plans, your training, etc. What CIFA does, we finance. We come in when you need money. When you are ready to start your business, or you want to expand, or you want to buy equipment, or etc., that's where we come in as an institution. So this is our CIFA structure currently. We've got full direct lending, which is the department that I'm currently an investment analyst on. What we do there, we call it direct lending because we finance the entrepreneur directly. So when they come in looking for assets, bridging loans, I will explain what each is. Term loans, property finance, that we give that fund directly to the entrepreneur. So our fund starts from 50,000 and then it goes all the way up to 15 million. And then we have the wholesale department. I started there, actually I worked there for 4 years before I moved into direct lending. Basically what we do there is credit guarantees, equity, revolving loans, term loans. I don't think I can dwell too much on this. I don't think it would benefit the entrepreneurs here, because what we do here, we finance intermediaries. We would give your African bank money to actually finance small businesses on our behalf. But I'm going to talk more on direct lending because I think we've got entrepreneurs here, or people who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs. And then we also have other supports, which we call post investment monitoring. So what we do there, once we've given you money, we don't say, here's your money, bye-bye. We monitor the business. We introduce your mentors, people that will help you with the marketing of the business or with the finances of the business. We have workout and restructuring. So what I must highlight is that the department doesn't like giving out grants. The reason for that is that we would give someone money, we buy equipment for them as a grant, and then they'll say, I don't have to pay this back, I'm just going to sell this equipment and get money. Remember, the purpose of this funding is not only to help entrepreneurs, but to encourage entrepreneurs to employ people. So if we then give you a grant, you're like, it's just a grant, I can sell this equipment, or you don't have that obligation to actually push. So we also have workouts and restructuring. So what happens is, since we are government, when we give you money, I will explain, I will break it down as we progress here. What we say is, look, we know how businesses are. Sometimes it goes up, and then COVID happens, looting happens, and you are unable to actually start paying us back. So we've got a department where we call workouts and restructuring, where we sit down and say, the business is not going well. You are unable to pay us back. We are government, we are not a bank. We're not going to say we're going to take your house or whatever. Let's sit down, let's see how we can restructure the whole transaction or the whole business or the payment term. So basically that's what the workout and restructuring does. We also have business and technical support. We have fund management services. Basically what this department does, it's your post-investment. They come in once we've given you money to make sure that the business is successful and you pay us back, so we can help other entrepreneurs as well. So as I said, the government doesn't like giving out grant. So what they did was they said, look, we're going to blend our finance. So what does blending mean? There's going to be a portion that's a loan and there's a portion that's a grant. So how that works, for example, if you are applying for one of our products, which I'll discuss later, which is Trap, we finance up to $1 million. So we've got, our finance is up to 15 million, but we've got different programs where we finance up to $1 million. Some up to 50 million, but basically we finance up to 50 million. So if you are applying for 500,000, for example, 200,000 for example, and then 50% of that amount will be a grant. So the loan amount will only be 100,000, and then the other 100,000 will be a grant. So that 100,000 encourages gearing, it actually sets you up to start operating, and then the other 100,000 would be a loan. You're not going to get that from the bank. So in terms of our criteria, what we need for you to apply, you have to be a South African citizen or a permanent resident. Your business must be registered. It must operate within the boundaries of our country. If we say we must operate within our boundaries of our country, we are not saying you can't buy equipment from other countries, but the business has to be operating within South Africa. You must be compliant, looking at your SARS, your CIPCs. If there's any certifications which is required for your businesses, you have to be compliant. For example, here in Durban, if you have a restaurant, you have to have a certificate of acceptability, you must have a business license, so basically you have to be compliant. You must have a written proposal or business plan. As I said, colleagues, I've been doing this work for about 8 years now. We have finance businesses that have a 2-page business plan. We have declined businesses that have a 152-page business plan. And remember, you understand your business. No one understands your business better than you. So what we've picked up, and one of the challenges that we have, someone will go to someone that will help them do a business plan, and then they come to us. We start doing a business plan. They say the business is a restaurant. Okay, the first 2 pages are about the restaurant. This is what the restaurant is going to do, and then we go to page 5. It starts now discussing construction. We're going to build houses. But this is a restaurant. And then you call the applicant and say, look, I was going through a business plan. There's a restaurant here, and then there's construction, and then there's this. I said, I don't know, but I paid this guy 1.2 to do this thing for me. You know, it happens. I mean, I saw one that paid 10,000 to do a business plan. Remember, a business plan, you understand your business better than anyone. Yeah? I will explain. Sometimes we say, go to Cedar, downstairs, Cedar, we share the same building. They would sit down with you here. You will explain what the business is, and they know what we're looking for in terms of your business plans and whatsoever. So they would put those relevant information. I mean, we get about thousands and thousands of applications, and we go through each business plan when we do our due diligence. And look, sometimes we would see that there's something here, but this thing is not clear. I would just toss it aside, and then I would call the applicant in and say, look, let's sit down, let's tell me what the business does, or what are you intending to do. So be very careful, especially when you draft your business plan. It has to be as clear as possible. You understand your business plans, you understand your markets, you understand the location of the business. I mean, I'm just to say here, who's going to read a business plan construction this morning, and then later I'm going to read a restaurant. So I'm not an expert on your business, but we rely on you to actually give us the information on your business so we can make a decision. We also, again, demonstrate character and ability to pay the loan. This is very important. We do your financial analysis to see if you qualify for a loan. We also look at the characteristics. For example, there's this one business we just financed in Newcastle. She applied for stock. We're going to pay her rent for the first 3 months and salaries for the first 3 months. So we gave her 250,000 for salaries because she had about 10 degrees, salaries for 3 months. So when we requested a bank statement immediately after we paid, because remember there's that department here monitoring, so we can actually hand over. When we went through the bank statements, on the day she was paid on the 25th of August, the 28th of August she was in Cape Town, so Table Mountain, there was a lot that was happening. Remember, we have not paid the full amount, we just paid enough for her to start, and then we were going to pay others was going to be subsequent. So based on the character, we had to say no, we had to pause, because she's gone on vacations with the money she was supposed to pay the staff. It happens. So we look at the character of an individual as well, and that it also informs us to actually approve or decline an application or not pay all. She had received a grant of about 2.5 million. We then converted that grant into a loan. We said, no, you will have to start paying us. We are not serious. I mean, there are other people who need this money who can actually use it for what they intend to do. So it happens. We also look at your personal and credit checks. So we are not as strict as other institutions. We say if you've got a default, because it happens, if you've got a default and you miss those few payments at Edgar's or whatever, just go make an arrangement with them. Say you're going to pay them $100 a month or whatever, and then we will proceed with an application. What we cannot touch is when you have a judgment. Then the law comes in and says, look, if someone has a judgment or is under debt review, they can't incur any more further debts. So the law says, no, we can't touch the individual. But if it's a default, if you missed a few payments here, it happens. And I'm sure most of you guys they've got your accounts or your contract with Celsius or whatever. And there are bad months, so we can't punish you on that. We just say, no, go make an arrangement, send us the arrangement letter, we'll proceed to work with the application. You must have so the business must be owner managed. So what this means is you can't be employed somewhere full time and then have a business that you want us to finance. And if I'm going to give you $1 million, I need you to be there and see that business, that's the operation of that business. So if I give you $1 million there and your auntie or your mother is running the business for you, we don't allow it. But we have financed a student. I think they had a coffee shop there in Howard. I don't know if it's still there. Sometimes we do in fact encourage the youth to apply. We can't always rely on the job market and say, if you've got an idea or if you started something, we do encourage you guys to actually apply. You must have a valid tax clearance PIN with SARS, and then our target markets, targeting black entrepreneurs, by black, Indians, Canadians, Chinese, etc. We also encourage women, not that men do not apply, they do apply, we've approved them as well. We encourage the youth to apply, entrepreneurs with disabilities, and then we encourage enterprises that are operating within our rural communities and townships. Our priority sectors, we have services such as retail, wholesale, and tourism. We have manufacturing, agriculture, construction, mining, green industries, and information technology. So, going into asset finance, this one is basically simple. If we are a business and we are looking to purchase an equipment or machinery or whatsoever, we can come in and apply up to 15 million. Basically, this one allows you to acquire or lease without impacting your cash flows. Our duration, basically, so what we do is, once we finance, it's either we give you a grace period of 3 months, 6 months, sometimes in special cases up to a year. That's when you don't start paying us. It's basically to allow the business to start operating. And then our maximum payment is 60 months. But as I said, you must communicate with us. I said, you know your business better than us. So if you know things are not going well and you're not going to be able to make the next installment, you'd rather come to us in and say, things are not going well. It happens. And then we sit down, we restructure, and see it's okay. Maybe we'll give you a breather for the next 3 months and start paying after, or we will reduce your installment. It's very important that you communicate, especially with your financiers, if you've got challenges with your business. Remember, the aim is to help, not to get you into further debts or into any troubles. We also have a term loan. This is basically to acquire your working capital. If you need to pay your rent or your salaries, or to buy a stock, or to your furniture, office furniture, fixtures and fittings whatsoever. Again, the same. The period is between 12 to 60 months, depending on the nature of the business. Again, it's the same. It's from 50,000 all the way to 15 million. So these ones, they don't have an element of grant. It's just your full loan. And then we have your bridging loans. This is a short loan. It's basically contract finance. So you find that some other entrepreneurs, they would get a purchase order somewhere to buy and supply, and they need those funds to buy and buy those toilet papers and deliver to Transnet. So basically, this one covers that part. And then we have your revolving facility. This one is more for construction. So you find, we will have, you'll be awarded a tender to build houses. Maybe a 20 million tender, and you need capital to start. You need funding to start. We would approve 15 million, and then we would basically revolve it. You send us an invoice, we pay you, and then ask for more money, we give you more money. So it's basically, it works like a revolving facility. So in terms of documentation that you need to apply, we do have an application form, but we are encouraging people to apply online. The process is quicker if you do that. I will share our details towards the end of the slide. You must have a surety form. There's a form that comes with an application form. We need a copy of your ID. If you are married in a community of property, we need the spouse ID as well. A marriage certificate, a short CV, tax paying, CIPC, your 6 months bank statement. So if it's a startup, you won't have your 6 months business bank statement. But we would then say, get a confirmation from a bank that you've actually opened a business account. Remember, we are financing the business option. So we need to have a business bank statement or confirmation that you have opened a business account. But we would also require your personal bank account. We need a loan breakdown. Basically, what this means is, if you are asking for 2 million, you need to break it down for us and explain what is that amount for. I mean, if you are looking for 2 million to buy a truck, you must try and be as specific as possible and see what type of truck you are buying, where you're buying from, and then give us those quotations. Because if we are buying assets, we don't give you money. We buy the assets on your behalf. So we need a detailed loan breakdown which is supported by your quotations. Also need your proof of if you want to be contributing. Because sometimes it happens, someone will say, I need a loan of about 2 million, but I'll be contributing 1 million towards my business. So we want to see if you have that million. If you don't have, we just find it quickly. So, I mean, it doesn't make or break an application. If you don't have your own contribution, I mean, 90% of our applicants, they don't have their own contribution. We need a members' resolution. As I said, if you look at point 16, this is the part where we say if you have a judgment, we can't touch the application. So, guys, please try and pay, or if you're unable to pay your credits or debt, make arrangements, and pay that $100 a month. We'd rather be clean than in this situation, because who knows, maybe tomorrow you get a $2 million contract and you come to us and say, hey, you've got a judgment because you failed to pay $100 gas. And it happens. So if you see what you're unable to keep up, communicate with them and make arrangements. Pay the $50 a month or the $100 a month. It helps. We need your annual financial statements. This is basically for businesses that have been operating for more than 10 years. If they have an annual financial statements, remember, first they tell us the position of the company. So when we look at to see is there growth in the business that's been operating at a loss for the last 3 years. So it gives us that information about the business. If you do not have them, you do not decline an application. You can apply. We will just rely on your bank statements. We need your management accounts as well. Again, if you have them, if you don't have them, it's still fine. So it's still fine. It's not an issue. Our aim is to help. So we know those things are expensive, especially for small businesses. So we try and actually formalize them when we finance, the post-investment way. We introduce mentors that will help you prepare your annual financial statements for your management accounts. And then it's more or less the same thing. We need your business plan. We need your cash flow projections. So this point is very important. Remember, I said we are not a bank. So we're not going to look at what you have and say we're going to loan you against these assets or this property that you have. We are a cash flow based lender. We look at your cash flows and see if you're going to be able to pay us. So, for example, I'm going to make another practical example. I had a meeting with the subcommittee. He submitted an application. It's a startup. He's opening a butchery in Latin, I don't remember the section. And he projected also on the first year it's going to make 5 million. No, it's true. He projected it's going to make 5 million and it's going to increase by 10% over the next 10% in the second year, 20%, but it was just ridiculous numbers. And then I sat down with him, I said, look, 5 million, how is it going to happen? What's the plan? How is it going to happen? You know what he said? He said, Sike, you are not from Mlazi. I know how to make this work. He's applying for 2.5 million. If I come to you and I said, I want to open a butchery, I'm going to make 5 million on the first year, are you going to give me money? Because the first question you're going to ask is, how am I going to make the 5 million? I need to convince you that I'll be able to make the 5 million. If I say to you, no, I'm familiar with the maths. I mean, look at maths. If you can do it, I can do it. You're not going to give me money. So So basically, I usually tell my applicants that's how you should look at finance. If you're going to ask for money and you're going to project, try and be as realistic as possible. Do your research, and because look, if the application is unsuccessful, clearly Lumutu doesn't know what they're doing. So you must try and be as realistic as possible. And in fact, another one which we've approved. He was asking for, I think it was about 350,000. He does what you call those printing and embroidery. His projections were ridiculous. But we saw there's a business there, so we actually sat down with him because they're trying to impress us to see, know guys, I can pay the loan. But now when you look at the bank statement, the business is only making about 30,000 a month currently. And then if I say, look, if I give you this machine, how are they going to jump from 30,000 a month to 100,000 a month? They don't give us those answers. So we try and sit them down and assist, because remember, we say, be honest, be as open as you can, and be realistic as possible. Because that's where we can actually see this is how we can assist them in business. Look, it happens. I mean, people, they project 10 million, and if you ask this person, they've never done this thing before. They have no idea what to even buy, or how to even start. So when you are approaching finance, you're going to be looking for funding, not just to see other institutions as well. This part of my cash flow projections are very important, and you must try to be as realistic as possible. Sometimes you work on your projections and you realize you don't need money. You don't need money. Sometimes you do the research, you realize you see a butchery. I mean, I'm margins of butchery lately, they are very, very low. If you get your stats, they are not making a lot of money. That's the reality, because every second shop is a butchery. Competition is tough. So you find some margins are low, which goes for restaurants. Margins, people prefer going to UKZN now than actually going to Nando's or a fancy restaurant. So you find those margins are really low. So you come in and you say, look, I want to do this, and it becomes a challenge. So yeah, basically the slide explains. So if you want to be looking to franchise, we need a franchise agreement. And again, the idea of franchising is nice, to own a KFC or Nando's or whatsoever. But again, you must do your research. You need to do a thorough research, especially if you are looking to get into franchising. So you must have your franchise agreement. Usually some institutions, I know Dunlop, they will do something which we call a feasibility study for you, where they will see if is there a market for what you want to open in the area. Some they don't, they just said, oh, I want to open Galitos, there you go, pay us 1.5 million. And then you sign the agreement, you need to file, you have to pay them this and pay them that and pay them that, and you are left with 10,000. And you have to pay UCFI as well. So if you're looking to get into franchising, try and do your research. And then our deal breakers. So these are applications that we don't really touch. This is for speculative real estate. For example, if you want to build properties to rent, you don't touch it. We don't assist. Okay? If you are looking to refinance an existing debt, so if you've got a debt, let's say as a company you owe ABSA 10 million, we do not finance the existing debt. So if you're looking for 10 million to settle ABSA, we don't do that. People who are under debt review, as I explained earlier, business where they are contravening law, be it a bylaw or the law itself. For example, if you have a restaurant and your health and safety, you are not compliant with your health and safety regulations or your certificates of acceptability, or you don't even have a business license, we can't find this because we give you money, then the municipality comes in the next day and shuts you down. So we've lost the money. So we always say, be compliant, do a research on the business you need to get into, understand the bylaws of the municipality you are operating in or the law itself, and then we can assist. I mean, we don't want to be in a position where we give you 10 million to operate, and then 3 days later the municipality comes in and says, no, you don't have a permits to operate, you don't have this, you don't have that, you are not compliant here and there, you know. We don't do primary agriculture. So primary agriculture without genuine off-takers. So what we say in terms of agriculture, you must have an off-take agreement. Remember, this is a loan, so you must be able to pay us back. So if let's say, Jala, your potatoes, for example, and we need to know who you're going to sell them to. You know, you must have that agreement on to whom you're going to sell those potatoes to, so we can actually work out to see if would you be able to afford us, to afford the loan. If you don't have your contract, especially on agriculture, as well as logistics, we try and not get involved in that application, but we do let you know. Once you've secured an off-take agreement, because remember, National Credit Act says if I'm going to give you money, I must test your ability to pay us back. So if you have a contract and say that you'll be supplying, Freemax, or who manufacture potato chips, they will give you a contract, and then from that contract we can see you're going to be able to afford, because they will say, no, we're going to take this much, for how much, and this is how much your ingadiako will produce, etc. So we need to have an off-take agreement. And then this is basically our funding structure. So as I said, our rates our rates are not the same as the bank. We've got products where we loan you and the rate is 5%. It's fixed at 5%. Some we can even go as low as 1%. So as I said, we are not a bank. The aim is to assist. We usually do prime -5 for other transactions, but it depends on the nature of the business. So we've got our special programs where it's for volunteer. This is basically for businesses that are with entrepreneurs, around entrepreneurs living with that disability. So what we do there, we've got money set aside to assist them before they apply, and then we've got, I think, up to 250,000 to assist them after we've approved in terms of your mentorship or, etc. And then we've got another one, our very, very popular program, which is the Township and Rural Enterprise Program. So this is for businesses that are operating in townships and rural areas. With this one, we find up to $1 million. It's blended. Up to 100,000 of whatever you're asking for can be converted into a grant. I will try and share the presentation with my colleague, so you can share with everyone, so you don't have to take down notes. So this one is our popular one. It's fixed at 5%. The term is up to 36 months. We have a grace period of 3 months. It's our very, very, very popular program. We get a lot of businesses from townships, be it your clothing, your butchery, etc. I will explain it as we move forward. And then we have another one, which is small enterprise manufacturing support. So this is for businesses that are operating within the manufacturing space. A startup, existing expansion. Up to 20% of what you are asking for can be converted into a grant in this one. So we find up to 15 million on this one, and then up to 20% can be converted. So what determines the 20%? We have a scorecard. This scorecard would tell us, are you male, are you female, and then it would give us a score, and then it would, that's my follow up. So it would tell us, we would work it out. Are you black, are you female, are you youth, are you in a township, and then we'd say, okay, this business will qualify for 15% or 10% or 20%. So we have a scorecard, which we share with an applicant, to when they apply, just to give them an idea as well and see how much they can qualify for in terms of a grant. But we don't give you grant alone, it's blended. A portion is a loan and another portion is a grant. Again, the requirements are the same as the ones I explained before. You must be a South African citizen or permanent resident. Must have been, for this one, must have been operating for at least 2 years prior application. The business needs to be predominantly black, about 51%. We need to have a predominantly black management team. and then it must be compliant with SARS. And we get our money there, so it's no brainer. So it has to be compliant with SARS. So this is our popular one, track. This is for businesses that are operating in township areas. What's nice about this one is you can even be a startup as well. We finance a lot of startups because the purpose of this fund is to formalize businesses that are operating in rural and township areas, move them for this informal sector into a formal sector. So we would say some about they would have a Mahe salons and not a registered company. Just register a business and we can assist you there if you're looking to grow or to buy equipment whatsoever. It's our very popular program because we are not as strict. The purpose of this one is to, as I say, is to assist, help businesses move from operating informally to formally. We finance most of, in fact, of the people we finance in this sector are mainly students who have completed their degrees and they realize they've got a skill to cook or bake or personal care whatsoever, and they're now looking to start their businesses in their area, or they've identified in their where they want to open and start their businesses. As I said, we are not looking for your feasibility studies here, and we are backing you. We are saying if you are saying you can do it, then we trust you. Of course, we do want you to comply. So we will say, we'll give you 6 months, we will give you the money, we will finance, we'll buy, we'll pay your rent, we'll buy equipment, we'll give you working capital. But after we disperse, we'll give you 6 months to actually sort out your compliance issues, your business license, because the main aim of this one is to move you from operating informally or unemployment to getting into business. So this is our very popular product. As I say, we finance clothing and textile, bakeries, shisanyama, retail, your car washes, general dealers, automotive, personal care, artisans. If it's a business operating in township or rural area, you again qualify. But again, I'm not from Gamash, so you need to convince me that your business is going to work. You can tell me, there's a police station nearby, footwork is, you guys are students, so you know how to do your research. What's the footwork in the area? Even before you start a business, you should have done that background, to see, if I open a bakery there, would it work? Sometimes you find, you have an idea, you want to open a bakery here in Guamash, but after doing your research, it's not going to work, so you move it to a last. So you need to do your research, especially if you want to be opening a business. It is a loan, it's blended, only up to 100,000, it's a grant. It is blended, you need to start paying us back in 3 months. Again, we are encouraging you to work, to have that obligation, to know what you need to pay. And we want you to employ people 1, 2, 3, but as long as you employ someone. Basically what we do there, we buy your equipment, material, we buy stock, we pay your rent, we assist with marketing, which is a challenge in most businesses. They struggle with the marketing part, so we do come in there and assist in terms of marketing. We have received that they do the branding. So this is basically an example. If you're applying for TREP, if you need 100,000, only 50,000 to pay a loan and then another one to pay a grant. If you're looking for, we say it's 50%, but you do not exceed 100,000 as a grant. So if you need 1 million, 100,000 would be a grant, and then 900,000 would be a loan. So basically, it's just repeating what I've been saying. So again, the criteria is the same. Business must be registered. We also do finance co-op. So whatever I'm describing here, even a cooperative can apply. The business must be 100% owned by a South African. So the requirements are the same for all our applications, but we are not as strict. We don't interrogate too much on these special programs. So we've got offices across the country. And then we work close with UCIDA. I mean, like here in KZN, we only have one office here in Westfield, and then you find UCIDA is spread across the province. So if you are based at Kopo or Richards Bay and you want to access UCIDA, you can go to any CIDA offices. But if you are here in Durban, you can come to our office. We do though encourage our applicants to first go to CIDA. Remember I said CIDA, there are more business development. They would assist with your business plans, your basically packaging the application when it comes to us. Because remember, Tina, what we do, we finance. And we are trying to avoid a situation where you come in with your application and you are projecting 5 million on the first month. So we do say, you are more than welcome to come and consult with us, and you can say, this is how we can do it. But when it comes to actually packaging the application, if you are struggling, you can go through CIDA, but you can also come to us. We don't send anyone away. We do sit down with you, set an appointment, and then we try to work it out. These are our contact details. Numbers at the top. Okay, the website, it's where you apply. You apply online, you will see all our programs there. So there's this new one that's exciting everyone at the moment, which we call Tourism Equity Fund. This is for individuals who are operating in the tourism space and are looking to get into tourism. If you want to buy B&Bs or hotels or whatever. That one is special because we find it's up to 50 million. Yeah. So if you are looking to buy a B&B or you want to get into tourism, operate within the tourism space, we have finance for that. So if you go into our website, we have those details regarding how to apply. And I always say this, if you are struggling, if your website is giving you problems, come to our office or call us, we will help. We would rather have you submit documents that are correct rather than you saying, I'm just going to submit a blank page and buzz of what. The system is not going to allow you to move forward. So if you're not sure what we are asking for, call us or make an appointment or come to our office and we will sit down with you. And sometimes we even say, look, I'm not really familiar with the website. I'll just say, no, just give me the application back. We will go through it as we're sitting. And then these are our numbers. All these numbers are our Durban office numbers. And then you can access us through CIFA helpline or the complaints if you are not getting any feedback. You submitted the application 3 months ago, you don't know what's happening. Or you can email our admin, Andy Swa. We also have Twitter, Facebook. So, maybe I can, and thank you. Again, we do not have any consultants representing CIFA. If it's not CIDA, we do not have any consultants. So if someone comes to you and says, no, I've got a relationship with CIFA, pay me this much, I'll push your application, it doesn't work like that. We do not have any consultants representing CIFA. If it's not a CIFA employee or CIDA employee, we do not have any consultants. We are government. As you said, if there are any fraudulent activity, do call our hotline report it. And that's my presentation. Thank you. I don't know, are there any questions? There's a light, so I can't see the hands. Oh, yes.
We have audience online. So those of you who are joining us via our YouTube channel, please just type your questions there and then we'll be able to respond. So I'm going to ask Zinhle engineer there, please just get those questions for us and then they'll be able to answer them.
Yes.
Okay, my question is regarding if you are married in a native property.
Sorry, just those who are asking questions, can I ask that you just, that device next to you, it's a mic, so that the people who are online, they can be able to hear.
Is it on? My question is based on the remark that you made, if you are married in community of property.
Yeah.
So now, if both spouses are co-directors of the company, is the marriage certificate still required?
Yes, yes. Look, if you are married, you want to need that marriage certificate. But if you both own the company, it's not an issue. You know, if you both own the company, but we would need the confirmation that you guys are married. I mean, we've got a spousal consent. I know, which you both will have to sign. You know, but yes, we do require it. It's actually on the National Credit Act. Yeah. Yes.
I actually have quite a few questions.
Yeah.
First of all, you mentioned something about like a score check where you're black,
Yeah.
female. Does, example myself, I'm black and female, I'm young. Does that like look better on paper for me? Like, does the more boxes you tick, the more likely you are to get assistance? Is that
No, definitely. It's not assistance. I mean, the element, as I said, we find it's up to a certain percentage. So the more boxes you tick, it's not just being black, female. You look at where is the business located, how many people are employing. It's quite a lengthy scorecard. But the more boxes you tick, the higher the percentage of you qualify for the grant.
Okay, thank you. And then the second point, you spoke about looking at someone's character and how you look at their business transactions or their personal transactions rather. And you said that if you have a job currently, it doesn't look good because you obviously need to be hands on deck.
Yes.
Okay, what happens to someone who doesn't have a job? Like, what do you look at? Because for someone who just left varsity, you don't have a credit score, so how do you jump that hurdle?
All right, so we don't look at the credit score.
Okay.
We don't look at the credit score. When we look at our credit checks, it's basically to see if we have debts or do you have defaults or do you have judgments. So we don't unlike the bank, we don't look at the score. If you are not employed, that's fine, you can apply. So what I was saying is that if you are employed somewhere else, you are full-time there, then we cannot finance a business where the owner is employed somewhere and someone else is running that business on behalf of the ownership. So then what we say, the business has to be owner managed. You know, if I'm going to invest in you in your business, I want you to be there 24/7. And not say when I'm looking for you, no, I'm in the office. You know. So basically, yeah, that's what we do. But we do not look at the credit score. We just check to see your character basically. Do you have debts? Are you paying well? If you've got defaults, then you say, oh, make arrangement again. It's a national credit tax requirement. The law says if I'm going to give you money, I must check. I need to check how, as an individual, how's your character basically? Are you paying your guy on time, or yes, and then we would say make arrangement, and then yeah, it happens a lot. I mean, entrepreneurs, as I say, business goes up, goes down, goes up. Some are unemployed and now are looking to get into business so they can sort out those issues. It's when you have a judgment or you're under debt review where even the law doesn't allow us to touch you. But it's between, you must be 18. I mean, the law says you must be 18. But, you know, if you just left varsity and you owe SARS, we understand. Yeah. Some of us are still owing SARS. Yeah. will monitor the business for as long as you have the loan with us. We will be there for as long as you have that loan.
Oh, so it takes time to repay the loan so that you can just
Yeah,
give up.
so basically that department, what they do, remember now we have to protect our interest as well. So when you have a 60 months loan with us, we're going to be there for 60 months to monitor, you know. Remember, we said we have to not only assist you, but make sure you pay us back as well. And if we are there, that's when we are able to see how things are going in the business. So we can even come to you while we are there and say, look, we had said you pay 50,000, making an example, 50,000 a month, and we see things are not going the way we had projected. So let us work out a structure. Maybe we'll give you a grace period of the 6 months. We'll reduce your installment. It's basically to be there, ensure that the business is operating, and ensure that you are paying us back. So we will be there for as long as you have it. Because remember, once you pay our money, you don't need us. You know? You can send us to go.
Oh, another question. What are the benefits of SIFA, like financing the business?
So you mean how does SIFA benefit?
Yes.
We are a government institution, so we do not pay any commission or whatsoever. That's why even our securities, by securities I say, we are not going to look at you, going to hold your bond or your house and say, you know, if you fail to pay us, we take our money back. We do charge your initiation fees at 1%, which is basically your admin, but we capitalize it on the loan amount if you apply for, just to keep our lights running as well. But we are a government institution, so how it benefits as well when I'm driving past your business and I see a long queue. That's how SIFA benefits.
Let's see. We are here in the front, at the back. Let's have the gentleman there at the back. Is there someone that other side? Okay. We'll have the gentleman and then there's another gentleman there. Then we'll come this side. Cheers. Couple of questions online. Please WhatsApp them to me. And then I'll.
Yes. No, we do have interest. As I said, it's fixed at 5%, which is much lower than a bank. And then again, it depends on the nature of the business, but we can go as low as 5%.
But in essence, this is just a business loan.
Yes, it is a business loan. We finance business. Remember, in South Africa, we treat businesses as individuals, so we finance a business, not an individual. It is a business loan. And again, the money has to come back so it can help other businesses as well. I'm sorry, there's a light here, so I can't see this.
So you are saying
So Monica was speaking on show. I have an interest in boy. Is there any red tapes or what kind of funding can we have for someone? Or do you work with entities such as Broadband or those entities, because we have those interests as black people. So what kind of funding can we get? And do you have any red tapes? And if there are red tapes, what are those?
Yeah.
Someone is interested in that sector.
Yeah, so remember, I said we finance businesses, and you have to be compliant with whoever you have to be compliant with in the nature of the business. So if you're saying you're interested in oil, maybe let's have this discussion. If you are interested in oil, you have to explain to me what's your interest in oil. Are you buying from broker? Are you going to store it somewhere and then sell it somewhere? So now, as a financier, I said, okay, that's a good business. What are the requirements for you to do that? Yes, no, we also do our own research. And then I come back to you and say, no, maybe the Department of Natural Resources says you need 1, 2, 3 in order for you to be able to operate this business. You go back, you get those licenses, certificates, and then you say, look, now we need to know who you're going to be selling this oil to. Because remember, as I said, it is a law. In terms of red tape, with us, when it comes to finance and distribution, we just need you to be compliant and then demonstrate question in the base, demonstrate to have a market, selling this to who is selling this to. So basically that's what as we see, I can say. Yes, sometimes it does happen where you realize it's okay, even now we are not fluid in this, let's say oil, and we engage your departments just to find out how it works, because we don't want to do anything against the law, you know. I'm just making an example with you. I don't know if I was able to answer it.
Okay, let's have the gentleman, and then thereafter we're going to take questions from those who are joining us online.
Sorry? Yeah, remember on my presentation I had excluded businesses that we do not finance. But yeah, speculative no. Remember, it's I mean, we would finance, let's say you have a building, you want to renovate and have a students come in. You've got a contract, I don't know if it's with the Westville or FSAS, we would finance something like that. But if you say you want to build and then you will rent it out to people, we will do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Can we take that gentleman as well? Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
let's take this one from the people joining us online. The first one is, does TREP fund franchises?
Yes, we do. We finance the few.
Okay. The second one, are applications open throughout the whole year, or do they have seasons?
They've been open from 2020, so they are open throughout the year.
The third one, do you find the entertainment business in the entertainment industry?
Yes, remember the key to financing. If you can prove that there's a market and you can pay, then we'll be able to finance. Yes, we would.
Let me take the last two questions.
Okay.
The second last, how can we apply for funding for a business that engages in social services?
Social services.
Can you share the application details?
Yeah, I will share the presentation with you. It has all our details. Yes, but you apply online.
And then the last one, the person here would like to get your opinion based on your experience. So it says, in your opinion, which industries are highly successful when it comes to receiving grants and actually utilizing them successfully?
That's a good one. I mean, looking at TREP, I would say automotive, I would say Shisanyamas, clothing and textile, those have been really successful. We have struggled a bit with logistics companies. Who else? Restaurants as well. We do them, but as I said, after COVID, the margins have been bumpy. Yeah, it's quite a lot. Perhaps I would also share the stats with you, and you can share it with everyone.
So regarding social services, I think I know where this person comes from. So there's something we've seen where people are doing business called social entrepreneurship,
Okay.
and it's more charity based.
Oh yes. No, I missed that part. Yes.
And then, no, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm right, but that's what we've seen. There's a lot of those.
Yes.
They do it for charity, it becomes more like NPO,
Yes.
and they struggle to convert it into commerciality.
No, it's true. Actually, I should have mentioned that because we don't finance NPOs. Yeah. NPOs we don't finance. Remember, colleagues, it is a loan. Yeah. So if we are doing charities, for example, SIFA is going to ask for their money in 3 months. We're going to start asking for our money. So we shy away from our NPOs, but we do finance your pizza-wise and systems. I mean, our systems are federal.
There's a point that I think we can also look at. There's NPOs that run as NPOs, but they also trade in a commercial space. So they've got a part of the business that is in
That is-
commerce.
yes.
That's
So-
as a company.
Yeah, so if they've got got that element that is registered as a company, we can. Yeah? It's the NPO. Yeah, when we get that CIPC or that DSD document, this is NPO. Our system will not even take it forward. But if they've got the element of PTYs, then we can.
With a purchase order, how long does it take to respond? Let's say after that's months.
For purchase orders. So for purchase order, we take 7 days because they're agent. You know, we see you have to buy and you have to deliver. So we take 7 days. But we do verify the purchase order. For example, we received one. I think the gentleman said he received a purchase order from Prasa. When we went to Prasa, they said, look, we have not awarded any purchase order. So be careful, guys, it does happen. But we take 7 days for purchase orders. Sometimes it does take long. I mean, we have systems, we have legal, we have credits, but we try and make sure that we do it within a month. Sorry, what was the second question? Oh, the maximum amount. For purchase orders, we go as high as 5 million. It's a new product, that's why it's not on the slide, but we go as high as 5 million for purchase orders.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Miss Melanie. I would like to know if, in terms of the grant, if I fail to pay due to any challenges because money is overwhelming, maybe I can be sick, or I can be sick, or I can fail to pay back. Do the grant consider taking over my business
Okay,
or
so,
buying my business?
so if I'm understanding, you're saying if the business is struggling, would we then, as a SIFA, take over the business?
You said
Yeah.
if I fail, maybe to
Oh,
pay due
okay,
to any
okay.
challenges
Yes.
that I face in life, do you consider taking over my business?
No, we don't take equity. So what we would do, usually we would say, you know, if you're struggling, you communicate with us. You let us know things are not going well. Yeah?
But there are foreign disasters.
Yes, exactly. I mean, for example, looting. The business was doing well yesterday. You wake up, the business is gone. I mean, there are floods. There was a snow about 2 weeks ago, something you've never seen. So it does happen. That's why we as I said, we don't operate like commercial banks. We are more of a developmental finance. That's what we call as DFIs. So if there are unforeseen circumstances, we would even have a fund to rescue your business. We had a business viability fund, which was for businesses affected by COVID. We had fund for, and we call it a COVID relief fund. We had one for looting. We sit down and look at how we can save. We can save the business, you know. Yeah, so we don't just say, I can't get in the snow, or looting, we need our money. We are very much aware, things can just happen, you know. As I said, the business was doing well the day before, we closed shop, we went home, we come back the next day, it's gone. You know, it does happen. But we do not take shares of the business and then we say, if you fail, we take over.
Thank you. Please switch off your mic, and then I have a lady behind you, and then from there we'll come this side.
Greetings, everyone. I wanted to ask, what are the legal implications of failing to pay back the loan? And my second question is, with regards to the asset finance provided by your company, does the company also finance the maintenance and the insurance of the same assets?
Okay, so on the first, okay, I'm gonna answer that second one because I'm working on something similar. So you say, if we buy an asset for you, do we finance the maintenance? Or remember, on your projections, you've captured on your cash flow, there are maintenance fees. We will buy, that's why we buy new. My assets, they have to be new when we buy them. We don't buy second hand. Now, we say, we do work out to see if there's a downside, if it breaks, how long is it going to take to fix? The mechanics around the area. Remember, you are running a business we bought you a finance that's generating revenues for you. Yeah? So if you are able to fix that asset when it breaks, should there was something wrong with the way we projected. Yeah? But if you do require any additional funding, we do assist in that case. But usually if you buy an asset, we buy it new, and we know if it's new, it has at least a lifespan of 5 years without any breakage, at least minimum 5 years. And our loan is 5 years. And then with the legal implications, hey, we try and avoid going that route, but it happens. We would finance people and they would just run away from us. Remember, this money has to come back. So we then start engaging our legal department. But it takes time to get it. You don't just say, we failed this man. We do follow up. I said we have a department that does our follow up. And if it gets to a point where you don't even know where you are, or we are smiling again, then we start involving legal. We have our legal department, we do blacklist. Again, we do sign legal agreements, they have those conditions, but everything is explained to you before you sign. And again, assets that we finance them under ISA. So they are safer finance until you settle the loan. Yeah. So if you run away, we come and get our assets.
Okay, say.
Good day, everyone. I don't know if I can ask my question in Zulu.
No problem.
Okay, igama lami nguThokozani kaShabalala, the newly CEO, like the founder of the Revolution FM. I have some few questions. Noma nginembuzo nje embalwa. Angazi noma ngisalile lapha kade chaza about direct lending. Ngangezwe nje ukuthi ithini information yayo. Kodwa ke imibuzo engizocela ngiqala ngawo. Uthe uSifa uyathenga i-equipment uma uqhasa. Kuleyo equipment iba kwi-loan ukuthi ngizoqale ngikhokhele yona noma kuba i-equipment ukuthi ikhona nje ngoba ngiyaqala nje anginalutho. Useyafika ke uSifa ungithengela yonke into engiyidingayo yonke yasemsakazweni. Manje uma leyo equipment ngiyayikhokhela noma nginikezwe nje mina ukuthi hayi ke ndoda hlaba udle la uzobe usuyabona ke wena ukuthi ukhokha kanjani.
Yeah. Yeah. So we setting equipment. Yeah. Setting equipment sikunikeze i-grace period. Yokuthi uqale operate. Sinakunikeza 3 months, sinakunikeza 6 months. Remember, besithenga ngithi umthenga i-equipment uzofuna uqala usebenze. So uyasubmit application yakho, submit ama-projections akho, business plan and everything. Siyakuthengela i-equipment. Siyakunikeza-ke 3 months. Ngizosebenzisa 3 months ukuthi uqale usebenze noma uqale ukhokha after 6 months. So siyaba nama-grace period. Siyakunikeza 3 months, 60 months, sometimes 12 months, depending ukuthi business kanjani. But again, nakhona, remember, I'm just doing a presentation. It's a different story basically in the application, and it's just one-on-one, and we are going through the pack. Yeah, then we try and work it out to see what's the more of way. So yes, as soon as the equipment, we have 25 grand code. So we get the 3 months, 6 months, sometimes even 12 months. You see, the equipment medically is generates imali, otherwise we sit in that.
Kunombuzo uke wabuzwa ngicabanga ukuthi uDadewethu kulela qala ukuthi uma esehluleka ake sinje manje nakho kuyafika ke uziyakhala futhi kuyathatha mhlambe ke isale leyo equipment bese kuba ukuthi angikwazi ukuqhubeka. uSifa does uyayithatha leyo equipment kuyele ngakuyena noma
no depend khona umuntu ozothi i-equipment ngikathi ithenga sizothenga under ISA ngakhumbula ngithi asiwathatha ama-security ngeke ngibambe umbuzo wakho ngithi mhlawumbe ngokuhluleka uthatha umuzi so bamba le-equipment lesikuthengele yona so kuzoba i-equipment yakaSifa uze uqede ukukhokhela kwawenzeka uhluleka asivele sithi kusasa sisiyithatha kune-department ebengiyichaza kuthiwa i-post monitoring siyahlala nawe sibone ukuthi yini esingayenza yabo ukuthi ibhizinisi iqhubeke yabo ngoba si-development siyabuza yini esingayenza omunye uzothi hey yabona Sifa angisaboni mina lento eqhubeka kanjani ithatheni equipment yabo omunye uzothi no aninginikeze additional funding ngoba kune department ehlala nje qala zibona ukuthi singabonisana kanjani inkinga uma usubaleka sesingasakuthola then ke ila sisebenzisa khona abameli bethu sesabayelana kubalekile ukuthi if you've received funding ungasibhaleki because you know how business works one day it's doing well the next is doing well no I did not pay you in time so you communicate lezo zinto nathi as I said you understand business yakho better than me wena uzobona manje ukuthi ngoNovember not going to be able to pay so you'd rather come now at least make us aware ukuthi this is happening yes
abantu ukugcina bangaze badinoza kwethu noma isakhona nje mina mhlawumbe ngizophinde ngibuze ngikuzwe uveza usida ukuthi niyasebenzisana naye ngabe mangiya kasida for ukusizakala ngebusiness plan yami ngabe ngiyakhokha yini noma ngabe kumahala and ngicela ukusase ngompintsha nalokuthi is it recommendable yini kuma young or ama startup business ukuthi aba under incubation?
No, definitely. We find even the success rates, some business are under incubation, they turn out to be more successful than our bigger thing. But consider our cookie. Our cookie. We see that, so just to share something about the wine or talk, just make it. We see that, we see that. So we are forming the entity where I think it was even on the news. We are forming the entity so if we energy do the entity we never see an asset case. So very serious this reports every department but I think it's new so we are still marketing ourselves as individuals until the whole thing is but yes incubator is very important. Again, even you see that they will do your trainings or financial management trainings, access to markets. So yes, we do work together closely.
Let me see. I want to get the new hand. I'll get back to you. Let me see. There's a gentleman there at the back. Then I'll have the gentleman there. I'll have the lady from the Nectars and then ma'am, in that order. Try one question, please. Yeah, if you can come.
Can I ask a clue because my English is not?
No problem.
Let's say, for instance, you're in construction and civil, and if business that all maybe right, like you do not notice maybe about half a million. Then then you know people who get things done. You can also appoint you say over houses for maybe 15 million. So if you go apply for funding, which are discounts if your area cost sales fee test period it's looking there equally. Let's consider you guys to approve in a funding.
Yeah, so as I said, I'm not saying around times we usually say 60 days. Yeah? But remember, it depends. For this is similar engineer, let's say you've got a contract and you need to start working as soon as possible. We usually say 30 days. Yeah? At least give us that amount of time. Because remember, Nazi, we have to do our own due diligence on your application. It's all fine and well to submit documentation, but we have to verify the contracts. We have to look at your BOQ, verify with your CIPD. We also have legal. They will look at the legal implications of the thing. As I said, if it would be easier, we will hold your properties and that. But remember, we are not holding anything. It's dependent on the cash flows or submitted. So that's we have to do our part to make sure that whatever you submitted is correct. We have credits, we have a credit department. They would look at the credit risk of the transaction. We have legal, they would look at the legal implications of your transaction. We would go to whoever awarded you with the contracts and verify, is the scope correct? Is this, because that's where we are protecting our interests at the same time. It would be nice to see you apply today, you get money tomorrow. That would be nice, but unfortunately, that's not the case. As I said, I'm going to make an example of a program that we've got a number of applications that we are going to lab, and it started off slow because, as I said in my example, someone would say, I have to go now and verify, does that person even exist? So we do work in our checks before we even start working the numbers. So that's why I'm turnaround times. I've been in this organization for 8 years. I've never received a complete application, ever. Application from point 1 to point 27. So we have to sit down with you. Now I can make you understand. Sometimes you find what you got a contract, but the margins are bad. You're not going to make money out of this project. So those are all the things that we have to check on our side. We call it due diligence before we take it up to commit. Sometimes it takes longer, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes it's quicker. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I have 2 questions. Do you have key milestones or performance indicators that you check once you have funded someone? What is that particular business expected to achieve within a specific period of time? And then the other question is, once you have funded small businesses, what's like a common thing ends up failing? And just to fit that, Nalena, what is the reason you reject most of the applications? What's common rejections?
Common with the affordability, as I said, someone will come in and look for 5 million and project could still make 10 million in the first month. You look at the affordability, the business viability. If I want to open what you call I want to open Ushisanyama at the center of Mhlanga. You would find they tend to fail in those areas. They are more successful towards your Pine Towns, your Blazes, and that. But if you look at it, we also look at the viability of the transaction. And then secondly, in terms of your key milestones, remember when you submit your application, you have projected this is how much you're going to be generating. So everything is based on those projections. So we look at how the performance is. Are you going to be able to achieve those revenues? So we tend to monitor the parts very well. I think what was the, I think last thing, what was the third one?
Funding.
One usually, that's very difficult to answer because we finance different sectors. There are different reasons. Sometimes, the economic climate changes. Some you find they would have, especially in logistics, they would have contracts with your big logistics company, and then those contracts would just be terminated out of the blue. You find again, even the economic climate itself. Sometimes interest rates will go up, people will stop going to a restaurant and opt for Shisanyama. There are many factors. But I will try and actually prepare something to share with my colleague.
Okay. Lady from the Nexus.
Managing director in Colloquium business, and sifisa to apply for funding because of financial constraints. But also on my own, I have a business idea and I need to apply for funding. I want to apply for funding. So common factor in both of those. So ngingamisa kanjani?
No, then it would be unfair, man. So I followed you twice. And then, so usually we do one.
Okay.
We do one, so the application, yeah. So it would be unfair if it's, for example, single decline to finance you twice. Yeah. So we say one business at a time. But again, if you're saying this is in a financial constraint, what's the turnaround strategy? What happened also for you to that point? Because if you're saying you've got a financial constraints, you need to know what happened. Yeah. And then what's the turnaround strategy to actually take it out of those challenges?
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes you might find it's pushing fee or so data, so you need to know. Yeah. Or you need to employ more people, stock, yeah, so you need to break that down, explain why it happened. Because you don't want to finance someone who's going to be trapped on the same side.
I think imo bekambi. Ivele lisaqala nayo. So it's more or less like stigmal to
So
start.
it's basically a start.
Yeah.
Okay. I will have them here, and then we'll have lady here, and then there's a hand right at the back. Please get closer to the mic at the back when it's your turn to speak. Yes.
Sanibonani futhi. Umbuzo wami uthi ngikuze ukhuluma ngo 3 years yabo ama business are in existence and nama startups kade ekhona la ukuthi what is the minimum requirement in existence of a startup?
No. Look, if it's a startup, we don't even have a minimum existence. We finance businesses that are as operated on, and they're actually looking to get into the market. So the 3 years, I say, for businesses that have been existing for these 3 years, we have some history. We have your annual financial statements. If you don't have your budget bank statements, if you don't have any of that, I mean, that's like a new business. Because remember, as a financier, I need to see how is the business, if it's been there for 3 years, how has it been performing for the last 3 years? Has there been growth? Has there been a dip? Has there been, have you been operating at a loss? Yeah, for the first 3 years of the business. So usually for startups, we say, I would encourage someone to apply for trial. Start small and then work your way up. And then for business that have been existing for at least 3 years, you can get me at least a 6 months bank statement. Yeah, to see how's the business performing. Yeah, most startups, they won't have information. They won't have financial statements. They won't even have a bank statement. Yeah.
Follow up on the trip. Do you loan biodiesel companies?
It would depend what they're asking for. If it's a biodiesel company, first of all, who are they supplying? Remember, as I said, it's very important to justify the market. So if you, as a biofuel, and you are looking for funding, what is the funding for, and who are you supplying? But yes, we do apply, we do encourage it. It's one of our priority sectors.
Lastly, you gave an example of a salon, right?
Yes.
And then now you do have the skills to run the salon yourself, and you cannot do it yourself because you get the corner that money about for you to meet or to close that gap of which you see. It corner because I need to you retaliate. Okay, I need this money for worth. This is worth this. This is worth this. It was corner in the Nati for e-training. Say corner like we want abantu but they want a certain style that ongakwazi ukusenza njengamanje, but you know where your employees or potential employees can get trained so that you service according to the need of the market.
So we have CEDA. Remember, Tina, we finance the business. So we do have CEDA. I mean, they just did one example not long ago. So we have business development where they do do our training for, it was basically for that. Amasalon, they came in, they trained their staff. Because the way they explained it, so we see every year there's a new style that comes in. I mean, I'm a guy. So there's a new style that comes in, so there are those trainings set aside. But if I finance your business, we hope it's going to be generating enough revenues. On your cash flows, you've got a section for training and development. You have to set aside money for that for your business. Remember, if we finance a business, so it's going to operate it, so you can actually start employing a band. So you don't want to grow too quick. Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you. I'll have you and then add it back, and then from that, I'm going to take a very, what's time? Last hand there. You want to be last. I know it's, there's important information, but you'll bear with us. Time is not really on our side.
So, I'm not going to be we agriculture, something like we only find someone who is a buyer already.
Yeah.
So, I would like to know if I do have the land and I have the test that can prove that my land is fertile enough to produce the product, and I have the product that is a need in the market. But the thing is, let us say we didn't down, and I have a place there, and I need imali ezongifanda for me to get palms. Let us say indawo yami iseduze nefufu, and I need imali ezongifanda ukuthi ngithola ama-palms and then to fence and then start the business. You will not consider my application.
No. Remember, if it's agriculture, you have to have. It's a very seasonal business. Agriculture.
Yeah.
So, and again, this is a loan. After 3 months, you have to start paying. So that's why we say the agriculture, we only finance if there's an off-take agreement already in place.
So, for you to fund me, I have to start.
You have to, yeah. So we say you have to start. I mean, the finance drive, operating with reports, they supply cucumbers to your woolworths and that. So again, if it's not just a safer thing, it's the law. It says, if I'm going to give you money, I must test to see are you going to be able to pay us back, otherwise it's considered a reckless lending. Yeah? So we have to have something assured. Should you decide to take us to courts, we can say there was a contract in place where you say you'll be able to generate enough to pay us back.
So you cannot use my land as your collateral, like if I fail to pay you, then take them.
No, unfortunately, we as the government institution, we don't work like that. Yeah, we only take the security on the assets that we buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two lessons, right? Lady at the back, and then we'll have a gentleman there.
So I wanted to ask, if your business is still in the research and development part, maybe 3 months into it, will SIFA or SIDA still fund it? Especially if it's still in that phase of it still needs 6 months for the product to be developed?
Yeah. So SIDA, then that's the right one way to go. So now once the product is market ready, that's when we come in.
Well, that's the only time it
Yeah.
can't fund research and
No.
development.
So that's why we have this institution, business development. Yeah.
Sorry, can I also ask about the Lions Den? I'm not sure which one is under. Is it under SIDA or SIFA? The Lions Den business plan for the ticket?
It's SIDA, yeah. It's not us.
How does that go?
I honestly, I have no idea. I'm not sure. It's a SIDA.
You were saying land is done for HFB?
Yes.
No, that one is done by the municipality.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Of HFB. But then you see that they've got another one, the pitching competition that they run, but I think the closing date was in September.
Oh, okay.
So we have to try next year.
Thank you.
Last one.
Last question.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, in terms of the entertainment business, for example, a podcast that has just done, will it be funded knowing of the risk of the media business that you could get really popular, or you could like have a group for you and get?
Yeah, so So let me ask you, how are you making money with your podcast?
In terms of the podcast, it will be making money through merchandise, maybe shirts, trousers, hoodies, and also with if it gets a high following, it could get monetized and get business.
So if
Speculation.
I mean, in your case, for example, I'm just going to use all this if you don't mind. You said, what's the FM?
Revelation FM.
Revelation FM. Already you have an idea, your market. If you go online, you know how many, who's your market. You're going to get advertisers. I'm thinking that's the business model. Because remember, you must ask yourself, how am I making money out of this business? How long is it going to take? As I said, it is a loan. You have to start paying back the loan. So if you say, look, it is a podcast. How's the podcast making money? How long did it take, what's the popular one, MacG to get to where it is? 2 years. He was operating at a negative for a very long time, to a point where he started, at one point they were, I think, broadcasting from one of their colleagues' garage. So it takes time to actually get to a point where you start making money. As I said, it is a loan. If it was a grant, I would, there you go. But remember, it's a loan. And we don't want to give you loan nuts and say, sit bank on if it gets a funding. Are we good?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, 1 hour 30 minutes. Yeah, you really grilled me, man. I hope you are satisfied with the information that he shared, as well as his responses. I sincerely hope that with the information that he shared with you, you will use it, and then not only use it, but you will take advantage of what he shared with you to grow your businesses. I mean, I'm familiar with some of your businesses here, and I've got no doubt in my mind that if you were to go to SIFA and get that extra 50,000, extra 30,000, your business will never be the same again. That being said, I'm now going to invite another colleague on my left from Star Bank. Malus, won't you just come here? Thank you.
Sunborn. I wonder why people are laughing when I stand up. I hope it's a good laugh. I'm sure some of them know me because I'm quite busy in the university. I love youth development. So this is quite short. Okay, right. So my name is Malus Ndlovu. I work for Standard Bank in the province. I'm part of the executive. I'm a provision manager focused on the youth. We divide our businesses by segment. I'm focused on the youth segment for the entire province. My job is in the personal space, but there's something that's very funny, my friend. There's something that's very funny when it comes to personal finances and entrepreneurship. An entrepreneur is a person. So they belong to the personal banking side. But entrepreneurs start businesses and they share the same branding as the business, so they become the business themselves. So entrepreneurs are very interesting to banking or to finance. But what I came to talk to you about, thank you my brother for all that you shared. I'm passionate about fighting the unemployment rate. That's the main reason why I took over this role. And I believe entrepreneurship is the solution. There's something that Standard Bank is doing right now. Our CEO was presenting in Mauritius, looking for funding to improve economic growth, not just for Mauritius, not just for South Africa, but for the entire continent. And the African free continental trade, you'll see a lot that is happening there because we want your businesses to trade within the continent. And we are breaking boundaries, and the CEO is in the forefront. We are also part of the executive. We're also looking how that progresses, and we want to bring that information closer to you so that if your business is not doing well in Mlazi, maybe in Namibia, in a town, it can do well there. So we want to bring, we love trade actually. Standard Bank loves trade, and we've done a lot. We've got businesses that are banking with us for 100 years. In terms of funding, what I wanted to talk to you about, that a lot of people don't know, is Standard Bank has an enterprise development line or business. I sit with people who ask me, how much do the youth need in terms of funding? In UKZN, TVETs, University of Technologies and all of that, I can't say how much you need unless I know how much you need. So if there's no unit that deals with the requirements of, let me put it like this, there's a gap between corporates and what's making you struggle in your businesses so much that you end up failing. And we're trying to address that gap. I've got success stories in terms of all businesses that have requested support. Say you went to CETA, I don't know if CETA and CIFA do decline. I've got a person that had a purchase order that came through to me. We assisted him with funding, where he paid less than 50% of the normal interest rates that we normally charge. I've assisted someone who had approval from CIFA for 9 million rands in funding. I assisted him myself. I'm in personal space, but I love entrepreneurship. So I said, I'll do it myself. He needed 75,000 rands as an initiation fee for the funding from CIFA to come into his business account. He's got a maize meal production that he's doing. The bank assessed, it took about 2 months. He was very impatient and he was bothering me. But I had patience because I knew the scale. How many people he's going to employ? How many people who don't have any qualifications who finished their studies at grade 4 that is going to assist? Because our people, African people, know a lot about farming, naturally. So I looked at that and I said, even if it bothers me 10 times, 5 times a day, I'll bear with it because I know it's going to get support. To our surprise, the enterprise development team gave him 65,000 rands for free, a grant. And the department said, show us that you can get 10,000 rands. The initiation fee that was needed was 75,000 rands. So I'm telling you, there's things that you think banks won't do, or you only know one door to knock at, and you think if that door doesn't open, you think then, okay, let me stop, let me rather draft my CV so I can apply for a job. I've got success stories that I can tell you about. The best thing that you can do, the unemployment rate that you are concerned about, we are also concerned about. Businesses that are failing, we're also concerned about because we're part of the same ecosystem, we're part of the same economy. So the best thing that you can do for yourself is to talk to the right people and be patient enough. Don't come without patience. Don't show that you are entitled. Don't say, this is our, there's customers that say to us, it's our money. all the furniture that you have, we pay your salary. That's very rude, and most probably you'll be declined if you come with that attitude. But if you come, like how this gentleman came through, and I don't know with your application, my brother, if all of them have initiation fees. Based on that, that was a learning for us. That was the first time where we had someone who was approved for funding, but they didn't have the funds to get the funding to roll off. So because I've done that successfully, even if all of you have the same situation that you need to get, you've been approved for 50,000, 800,000, because of that particular scenario, I can say myself that we can assist all of you with the initiation fees. So I wanted to speak of such and then tell you, think of Standard Bank in terms of banking as a business, and don't only want to do that when the business is running. Start as early as, if you've got an idea and you start trading, there's people that do business trade prior to launch, piloting. Whilst you're piloting, your business will be making money. There's accounts that are very cheap in the, let's say affordable, let's not say cheap. There's accounts that are very affordable in a business space. There's an account that's called MIMO account, MIMO for business. I would recommend that you look at using that particular account as a startup. History is very important in banking, and separating personal finances and business finance is very, very important. If you get an allowance, you get bursary funds, and you use your personal finances for the business, you must never mix. You must always, I even have different notebooks. There's a notebook for business stuff. I also run businesses on the side part-time. I don't mix my finances for my family, my children, and my finances for the business. Once I say this money belongs to the business, it belongs to the business. So accounts will help you with that. If you have a business account and you have a personal account, it really helps. And I'll give you a scenario. We needed a sound system for an event. We are sponsoring 32 schools. They've got a sporting event, soccer. And we're asking for the person to charge us, give us an invoice. The invoice has his personal banking details at the bottom. I didn't even realize. He's giving us an invoice, we're paying him 10,000 rands, it's not a huge amount. I asked him before we wanted to pay the invoice, have you ever dealt with a corporate institution before? He said, yes, I've dealt with many, Transnet and all. Once we put the invoice on our system, the fact that it's showing personal banking details and no business banking details, firstly, it appears as fraud. Secondly, it appears as very unprofessional. Thirdly, it appears like Malusi is helping BEE. So even I myself am getting, there's a colleague of mine who always says, they're throwing an egg on your face. So if you want to go big, if you want to grow big, whichever business account you're going to look at, if your business is registered, have a business account. It can be a Standard Bank and it can be a different bank, depending on your choice. But it's good to have a business account, especially for business transactions. It's like having a website. If someone has a Facebook page but they don't have a website, they look a bit funny. So something like that. So I would say, look at opening a business account. With us at Standard Bank, your history, even if your customers are paying you in cash, have a habit of taking those funds and putting them in your business account. Even if you're putting them for drawings, even if you're going to withdraw later. The fact that there's history, it makes, even if you don't have financial records, Those are your financial records that say your business started off with making 5,000 rands. It progressed and progressed and progressed. Now you're making 50,000 rands a month. It's gonna help you when you need anything in terms of banking from our side, or even with the CFAs and the SITAs. So that will really help you. Consider that, don't delay it. It's not expensive to maintain a business account. It can be less than 50 rands a month. I think, on your point, I know Hluhluwe, and there's another lady that spoke about another funding. I've seen a lot of people being successful by approaching the Spark Group and a few retailers and Boxer. Consider visiting them. They only need to show you willingness to buy, and they give you a letter. That's all that you need in terms of showing that you do have a supply or a market for your product. So you can use that. The lady that asked the question, I would recommend visiting Innovate Dep, and they currently have something right now for youth. So I would recommend putting your application through while it's still at R&D. I think, I don't know if I would have any questions, but as clumsy as it's, okay, there are questions. I've got a lot of questions for entrepreneurship. I'm good in accounting. I'm an accountant by profession, I can say it like that.
Okay, let me take two questions right here, the two of you.
Ngiyaxolisa ukuthi libe ngibuyelela ngesizulu ukuthi ngenzela ukuthi mase ngenze homework ekhaya kube lula ngoba isingisi sivele sigoduke siye kuwo. Ngicela ukubuza la ukuthi uStandard Bank ngabe unalona uhla lama startup business ukuthi mhlambe uma ngiqala ikhona le mali ekuthiwa iphoqelekile ukuthi ngiyovula ibank iba no 50 rand lapha ngoba phela ngiyoqala manje anginalutho ngoba ne-information nike siyitholwa omana la ngitshela igcina isirongi athi umuntu uma ufuna ukuvula i-business account kufanele ube no-200 rand upwards. Ngabe uStandard Bank unalo lolu hlelo bese ukuthi umbuzo wami wesibili uStandard Bank ngabe ama-charges akhe mahle kangakanani ukuthi angidonse mina njengomuntu onebhizinisi elisaqala ukuthi ngizobhenka kuwona. Ngiyabonga.
Okay. Into yathanda ukuphendula ngesizulu. There's things that we call an initial deposit that is expected. Uma sithi is an initial deposit. Akusikho ukuthi sithi ngeke sikuvulele i-business account. Sisuke sisebenzisa historical knowledge or historical background. Most of abantu abavula i-business account befaka 100 rand kuphela igcina ngokuthi igcina ivalekile i-account. That's why sithi sinikeze at least 500 rands initial deposit. Imali yakho ezohlala kwi-account yakho. Ngoba ngokwe-history abantu abaqala ngo-500 rand basuke be-serious ngebusiness. It's not really ngoba sithi mawufaka u-50 rand hayi we sent a year ngeke uzukhona ukumanage i-account yakho. It's the history, assessment ye-bank. So i-answer yalokho ithi usually business bankers, if they open a business account for you, they ask you if you have an initial deposit of 500 rands. Khona nekhethes ethi okay, if ungenawo manje mhlawumbe ungaba nawo nini. Seriousness yokuthi operate a business, why uzothi awunawo 500 rand ozofaka kwi-business account yakho ngoba vele it's part of the history of business lakho. The first, it's like more was the accounting, it's like your capital amount. Mangabu, the first transaction in accounting when you're starting a business is so much is in the bank and so much is in your capital account. So that's the concept. That's why it's 500 rand. Yeah, so
Last question, we are going to close.
Okay. Little who's the example of the guy who was bothering you, who would say since who enterprise development only is 5,000 rands, who would tell Tole is a grant, no 10,000, who fixed the yin, no matter it will incur in a
Okay. So why it ding 75,000 rands? Some niggas 65,000 rands as a grant. With 10,000 rands, bank ilati zihlanganisele wona, show us ukuthi you can accumulate 10,000 rand or wakhe uyena wayifuna 10,000. Weza now, once ethi kaSifa, I do have 75,000 rands for initiation fee. I can proceed. You can proceed by assisting me. Ukuthi ngene lo 9 million to approve. So it's not, there's no loan here. I touch it. Yeah. Okay, Siamo.
Thank you, Malusi. And sorry that I have to rush you. I just want to make sure that by 1 o'clock we get done. I just want to share this information with you, those of you who are students. UKZN, since I think 2018, has been providing business funding to student entrepreneurs. And this was in the form of a grant. But however, the return on investment, it was a bit, should I say, questionable, for lack of a better word. We're not really getting a return on investment. So we had to go back to the drawing board. And the decision was made that with effect from 2025, we are now going to be providing funding to students, but it's going to be in the form of a loan. It's not going to be a grant. But obviously the interest that's going to be charged is minimal. And the reason being that, we were giving people money to grow their business or to start their business, but they were using money for something else. So that's why we are doing this way. So at the moment we're still working on in terms of how we are going to go about in issuing this particular loan. So if you could be in touch with us in the new year, those of you who are looking for funding, I'm sure we'll be able to help. And I would like to invite you to follow the Facebook page UKZN SWIP chapter. That's where most of the information relating to student entrepreneurship gets posted. UKZN SWIP chapter, SWEEP. UKZN SWIP chapter, all the updates you will get there. Yeah, we have come to the end of our program, and once more, I want to thank each and every one of you for having joined us today. You have surely demonstrated that Westville is an entrepreneurial campus. We are looking forward to having more programs at this campus. I can assure you that as early as March next year, we are going to have a program here, and you have proven to us that the Senate Hall, it's small, so we'll go to the main hall. Main hall takes 400 students. So come March next year, I want you to go and grab other student entrepreneurs, and we'll pack that particular hall. Thank you and enjoy your weekend.